I put so much time into this game. I cared about it so much. Well, we thought about it. And for us as gamers, sequels make us nervous more than anything else. So what we're hoping to do with Overwatch 2 is really redefine what a sequel means.
Well, yeah, I suppose they redefined a sequel with, this.
What the fuck is this piece of shit?
If you're a fan of Overwatch 2, you probably heard the news that Blizzard is moving away from their long-promised PvE mode.
It's clear that we can't deliver on that original vision for PvE that was shown in 2019. What that means is that we won't be delivering that dedicated hero mode with talent trees, that long-term power progression. Those things just aren't in our plans anymore.
While they do still plan on introducing PvE elements to the game, it's clear that the initially promised
complete story experience
with
this really cool progression system,
and who could forget,
highly replayable cooperative.
How do I put this?
It's never frickin' happening.
The PvE stuff will be coming into the game in the form of those archive missions, like in Overwatch 1.
Oh boy.
Which is underwhelming to say the least. There's a whole long director's take on their website musing over the emotional week in the world of Overwatch. That roughly equates to...
Sorry.
You can find that director's take linked in the description below. It's on the news section of the Overwatch website. It's pretty funny, 2 of those 4 links involve selling you something. That might be a bit of a bigger theme, but we'll get to that later. With all this in mind, there's one really big question. What is Overwatch 2? Introducing the shop update. Let's put on our pragmatic hats for a second here. I am in the creative space. I totally understand that over time projects change, projects evolve. And in this specific case here, this presentation's from 2019. People have left the company, Blizzard has had a series of horrible PR nightmares. But just listen to this. Almost everything Jeff said was either wrong, didn't happen, or was a lie.
Overwatch is a team versus team, 6v6 competitive experience. And there's no way we're losing that at all. In fact, that's a huge focus.
So that was a fucking lie.
Overwatch 2 is going to deliver on this. And that's for more story and for PVE, for cooperative experiences.
You lie! You lie!
Hero missions are focused on highly replayable cooperative experience. And they're powered by this really cool progression system where you can level up your heroes, get more powerful, customize your abilities, do different talents.
Liar!
Original players of Overwatch, players of the current Overwatch game, you will get to play on all of the same maps as Overwatch 2 players. It will be a shared multiplayer environment where no one gets left behind.
Oh no! What happened?
That last one always really gets me because people on Reddit tend to do the whole condescending, they explained this years ago. Yeah, you're right, they explained it very clearly right here.
A shared multiplayer environment where no one gets left behind.
Man, I don't know where people got that idea from.
Damn it, how could this have happened?
Some people simp for Blizzard so much they could start charging you per match and they'd still be like, oh, well, it's part of the game. If you don't want to do it, don't play it. Honestly, people at this point who are still defending Blizzard after everything that's happened with Overwatch 2 are either lying or coping or both. The team is definitely doing damage control. They're trying to spin it and act like Overwatch 2's main focus was PvP, but it's just not true. They pitched this as Overwatch 1 refined with better graphics, better mechanics, and a campaign. They delivered a cheeseburger and forgot the cheese. It is no coincidence that 2019 presentation spent so much time talking about the PvE mode. I mean, honestly, you take away that campaign and what is Overwatch 2? It's basically Overwatch 1 with just a pretty big rework to competitive, a big rebalance. How are you going to sell the community on a sequel without doing something big? The campaign mode was crucial to this. They redefined a sequel, alright. Sequel now means a big update. It's really hard to get around the thought. What were they doing this whole time? They were working on PvE for how long to scrap it and have basically nothing to show for it? How long did they know this hero mode was done? Is that why Jeff Kaplan left? But honestly, I feel like I'm the stupid one. Like, why did I even expect them to focus on PvE when they can't even balance the core PvP mode that they pretend to care so much about? How many characters have been completely reworked to the point where they're not recognizable anymore? Symmetra had 6 turrets, Torbjorn had molten cores and ult, Bastion didn't move in turret mode, mode, Mercy had the res. Lifeweaver has been out for like 2 minutes and they're already talking about reworking him. Lifeweaver generally cracks me up because for the longest time the conversation was, oh, we need less crowd control, less stunning in the game. The tank experience is just getting stunned over and over again and having no control over your own movement. So then Blizzard changed how all that worked, but also introduced a hero who can literally move you around without your input. I guess the big difference is he's on your team now as opposed to being the enemy. It's really great design.
Really great stuff.
Watch this one. We won this round because the enemy Lifeweaver forced his Sombra to C9 the point. It was fucking great. Remember how during the first few seasons of Overwatch 2, some heroes were so broken that they just completely removed them from competitive? The latest update feels like they destroyed matchmaking. I don't know what the hell happened. You're either dominating the game or you're getting dominated. There is no in between. The other problem with the roles is that 2 of the 3 roles just aren't very fun. There's a couple of tanks that'll just let you win, and then there's a couple of tanks that will just get immediately deleted by the enemy team. Tanking is undoubtedly the worst role in the game. I mean, when you hit flex, you're basically guaranteed to get tanked because no one fucking plays tank. Playing support feels like a job. It's really thankless. The roles barely make sense anyway. Half the supports do just as much damage as the DPS characters, and the tanks are basically DPS characters. Everyone should just be damage heroes. There are consistent issues where heroes can clip through the map. Hell, you get stuck in objects and you can't even leave spawn and you have to forfeit the game. Basic issues that were in Overwatch 1 that get patched out keep coming back over and over again. Honestly, tell me, in what other game would this kind of thing be acceptable? Role queue is just stupid. You either get paired with someone who doesn't know how to play the role and then no one else can switch to it, or you lose a player from a DC or a rage quit and then no one can fucking switch to the role. Let's get real here. You lose your tank. It's a 4v5. It's basically an auto loss. And the most annoying part is that there's so many simple solutions that Blizzard just won't do. A player disconnects from your team. Put a bot on the team so it's still a 5v5. Counter-Strike's been doing this since like before the Louisiana Purchase. How is this hard to figure out? A tank drops out. Let us change a role and give us 1 less DPS so we can have another tank going. There's even a different rule set in open queue where tanks have lower HP. You lose a tank, those rules kick in and the other tank has less health. There's so many things that they could do to rebalance a game when someone disconnects to make it fair, but they just, it's not even a thought in their head. Because of course the priority of the team is putting up the new skins for you to buy.
Don't ask questions. Just consume product and then get excited for next products.
I don't really think I need to spend a whole lot of time explaining how greedy and excessive the monetization is in this game. The battle pass is predatory by nature. If you're casual, it doesn't matter too much to you. But if you're taking the game seriously and you want to play competitive, it's basically not free to play. I wouldn't have cared at all if this was all cosmetic. Sure, it's overpriced and stupid, but people can do what they want with their money. Doesn't affect me. But what does affect me is the fact that if you don't pay, you're inherently at a disadvantage. You don't have the full roster. And say a hero instantly becomes meta, like, I don't know, Ramatra or Junker Queen or Kiriko, you're out of luck. Have fun with that. And if you choose to grind for the hero rather than pay for it, on the way you're just getting ass blasted by people who did pay for it. There are people saying that the skins increase in price when they go on sale in the shop. This is what I think their scheme is, and this is a little tinfoil hat, so just bear with me for a second. This is just my opinion. They release a new hero. The new hero is overtuned, it's broken, it runs the show. People buy the new hero to rank up, the season's over, people unlock the hero manually by playing the game, and then they nerf the hero. That is nothing new though. I mean, Blizzard was so good at leaving heroes extremely overpowered and broken for months at a time. You ever wonder what Overwatch 2 would look like if you didn't play Overwatch 1? I made another account, it's free to play, who cares, right? I thought just the new heroes would have been locked, but to my surprise, like half the fucking roster is locked. And yeah, you can unlock them via hero challenges, but you can of course buy the new ones in the store. And for less than the skins, which is very odd in my opinion. But hey, if the matchmaking and the roles are broken and don't make any kind of sense, I don't expect the shop to either. If I had to boil Overwatch 2 down to a single word, it would be frustrating. And it's funny because as I'm editing this video, I hear how frustrated I sound just like talking about the fucking game.
Papa told me after so many years of service, you gave Overwatch everything, and then they pushed you
that
out.
dedicated hero mode with
Why would you go back to
that long-term power progression. Those things just aren't in our plans anymore.
Overwatch 2 is basically a reverse No Man's Sky. When No Man's Sky came out, the expectations were going to the moon, and then disappointed everyone with a horrendous release. But over the years, they recaptured good faith with their audience, they kept all their updates free, and became a seriously awesome story of redemption. I want to be completely clear here. I love Overwatch. Or more appropriately, I loved Overwatch. I loved the gameplay and competitive meta of the old game. I loved the art before the new heroes just started borrowing previous abilities and looking like combinations of old heroes. I was into the lore. Good thing that won't be explored further in a dedicated campaign campaign mode. I love the cinematics. Good thing they barely make those anymore. Overwatch came out, it blew up, and everyone loved it. Everyone was impressed by the gameplay, the polish, the art. But then over the years, bad patch after bad patch, shitty balance decision after shitty balance decision, the game is a shell of its former self. Which is quite ironic considering it's now a new game. It's a sequel, and not just a patch. So I'm just over here thinking to myself, Overwatch 3, when?